Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I am Jaylee. This is JayLeesCorner. This is going to be my quick review, of Love and Marriage Huntsville. I literally just finished the episode, I know I was supposed to be live for an after show last night. Did not feel like it, Was supposed to have it at 4 o'clock. I had to push it back. And now here we are at 5:30 p.m. Okay, so thank y'all for those who are here for this live. Thank y'all for those who will be watching the read of the play. Okay, today has already been an eventful day, and that's why things are being pushed back and pushed around and whatnot. Okay, but y'all know first things first, if you've not done so already, please take a moment to do what? Subscribe to my channel to become a JayBird, okay? Because there's always a thing to do. Y'all know to also follow me on social media at JayLeesCorner on IG and also on Twitter. To always like the video, to always comment in the comment section, to always share the video because it's always greatly appreciated. Okay, I feel like I look crazy today for no other reason besides, I don't know. I just, you know what I'm saying? Girl, I don't know. Okay, but I'm not gonna be on camera that much because I don't feel like it, and because y'all know Pastor Bishop Robbery was around here being foolish. Okay, so I know for a fact I'm gonna have to be on live later on. So my Housewives of Atlanta review will be up sometime tomorrow. Tomorrow, we love you. Tomorrow is only a day away. So, Housewives of Atlanta will be up tomorrow. We can come on tonight. So, tonight at 9 p.m. Okay, I'm gonna be around here. We're gonna have a whole Bishop so-and-so, Bishop Robbery conversation, the Tory Lanes and August Alsina conversation. So we're gonna have that tonight at 9 o'clock. Okay, because I'm like, honey, the Housewives of Atlanta, that can wait. Okay, that can wait. I feel like more of us want to laugh and chuckle and chit chat about the bishop, his grabbing somebody, him possibly being arrested or whatever, and those things. So that'll be tonight at 9 p.m. I do not have that set up yet. I know right now, Housewives still say at 9 o'clock. I'm gonna push that on back, leave it be. Okay, so come back tonight, but it's gonna be tonight for some foolishness. Okay, a little late night snitching session watch along of the bishop and his stupidness and whatnot. Okay, so that will be tonight at 9 p.m. But let's get into the reason we here, and that is, the Love and the Marriage Huntsville. Okay, season 5, episode 2, or season 4, episode 17. I don't know which one. My DVR and Oprah and them say it's season 5, episode 2. Whatever. Okay, but thank y'all for being around here. Okay, hello to everybody here. Hi. I hope everybody is having a great Sunday. Yeah, the bishop is on some BS. The bishop is on some BS. So we will be around here talking about that at 9 p.m. tonight, and that also gives time to see if it gives time to see what happened. Okay, but for Love and Marriage Huntsville, that's why I said this is gonna be quick, because this episode of Love and Marriage Huntsville, to me, it wasn't much of nothing. To me, it was really, all of them in counseling or whatever, one-on-one and as a group. So I was like, this is what we get? Oh, okay, I guess so. Not that I feel like every episode of the show has to be something crazy, or whatever. But, the fact that I still feel like Lewis and Tiffany is full of malarkey. Okay, it's full of bishop robbery foolishness. Okay, it's full of things that don't make no sense, that are double negatives. Lewis and Tiffany are the definition of 6 times 6 being 12. Okay, and 6 times 6 is not 12. Now 6 plus 6 is 12. But for me, with Tiffany and Lewis, the math don't be mathing. Okay, the way they be acting don't be adding up to the way they be talking, and that's what gets on my nerves. Okay, you can't be sitting around here, okay, and making it seem like everybody else who see through your BS is projecting on you, or you can't critique me and my marriage. It's like, but you came out here doing that to everybody else. Y'all came out here the first one. When was that? Was that last season? Whatever Tiffany and Lewis brought their ass up on the show. Y'all came up on the show consistently comparing y'all expertise, okay, as divorced people to being able to critique Marcel and Tisha and Kimmy and Maurice. And now when y'all are getting that back, it's like, oh, don't talk about us. Don't do that. Now Lewis and Tiffany, clearly they all still sitting around here. Okay, they all sitting around here and they still talking about, with Louis and Tiffany, we feel like, some ain't up, some ain't right or whatever. Now, Louis and Tiffany do not believe, they do not respect, they do not care about the assessment of their marriage per Dr. Francis. Okay, they don't care, whatever I'm saying. And I think of Louis, I can't, how he ain't known us long enough to, how he know, because he got two eyes. And the eyes are what we use to see. Okay, so we can see when y'all are full of malarkey. Okay, he said, Dr. Francis need to stop making assumptions and see who we are. And I'm like, but we see who they are. It's weird that you want someone to believe the facade you and Tiffany put up. Everyone can see y'all fake on this show. It don't mean y'all fake in real life. What it means is the fronts that y'all put up in front of these cameras, people can see through it. Because I've heard people say how Louis and Tiffany in real life are nice people, but they can be nice people and still try to be actors on set, and we don't believe it, okay? So again, you can't say I need Dr. Francis to see who he is, okay, and not making assumptions. He's not making assumptions. He's saying what he sees. He's saying what all of us have been saying since the moment we met y'all. And the fact that you won't take even a little itty bitty 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 part of that in shows you want to come off how you want to come off. Period. Okay. Now, the following morning, the Whitlows have a conversation with the Scotts, okay? Marcel and Tisha Scott, not others, okay? They in the kitchen, chit chatting or whatever. And Tiffany said, I didn't know I was gonna come to this marriage retreat, and people gonna come for our marriage. I say no one came for your marriage. But if you are at a couples retreat with a couples counselor, why would you think someone would not comment on y'all fake remarriage for the show? I don't know who told y'all was good actors. Okay, I don't know. Now, first of all, I want to say this: both Tiffany and Lewis and Tisha and Marcel look cute right here. Okay, it's cute or whatever, but you can't make it seem as if we don't see who we see. Okay, and Lewis brings up how you have to know your marriage. Okay, you have to know your marriage before coming to something like this, because if you do not know your marriage, it can allow other things to come around here and make you question everything based on you not being solid in your marriage. This is my thing. Anyone can be solid in whatever they're in, but if you're there because there are areas where you need some help, a little bit, you can't want to ignore that and make it seem as if someone is attacking you or attacking your marriage. It's stupid, okay? And when Marcel brought up how I don't even like counseling. I do not like counseling. But even I can listen to Dr. Francis, okay, to his advice, and I take what I think is useful for me and use it in my life. And I was like, that's all. No one is saying to live by the gospel that is Dr. Francis. No one is saying to completely uproot and change your whole life and do everything that he say. No one is saying that. But if you can't at least listen to the expert in the room, this that says something about you. You wanted to sit and be in what you sit and you're gonna be in. And that's on y'all. Okay. We don't really care. Okay. Now Lewis then addresses the comments that he made about everyone's marriage last season. We know how he was talking about Tisha and Marcel the most, okay, and brought up, I'm sorry, I want to apologize. I did not want to come off the wrong way, okay. I did not want that. I get how you feel now, Marcel, because of what I went through. But this is a gotcha. Lewis wants to act so smart. Lewis likes to act so smart. But if you're saying that you're just now getting what Marcel meant by saying you should not be critiquing my marriage when you don't know me. If you was that smart, you would get what he meant by that, and you would have been let it go and knew you was wrong. Okay, getting here and having Dr. Francis be the one to say some shit that you don't agree with, that don't make nothing different. Okay, that don't make shit different. Okay, Marcel's full of shit. He goes, I think Marcel is a different creature because Marceau will definitely listen to Dr. Francis. However, how he used what Dr. Francis said is the difference. Okay, Dr. Francis could say, you know, you should always listen to your mate. And he can be talking to Marceau saying you should listen to Tisha. But he would then say to Tisha, well, Dr. Francis said you should listen to me. So he will listen. He'll use it in his own way. Okay, but that's Marceau. Whatever, okay? But Lewis at least saying, I'm sorry, Marcel and Tisha, for being a judgmental person or whatever. I'm sorry because now someone is questioning my marriage. And oh, let me say sorry to y'all so that y'all don't then try to question my marriage. It was a defense tactic. If I say sorry, they can't then come at me about my marriage because I've already acknowledged that we should not do that to them. It's not slick. I see through your games, okay? I see you for who you are, Lewis, okay? And your philosophy don't work on me, okay? And Marcel says it's funny because Lewis is only upset because Dr. Francis pulled a Lewis on Lewis, meaning the same way you come at everybody else, Dr. Francis is not coming at you and you don't like it. And now you want some sympathy or some attention or some understanding. What I need from you is understanding, and we don't understand. Okay. Now we then see all the couples sit down for breakfast or whatever to chit and chat, mainly because Lewis and Tiffany are not around here trying to actively participate, actively listen, or take in anything anyone there is saying. And it was mostly Kimmy and Maurice, in my opinion, who were trying to get through to Tiffany and Lewis that y'all are very judgmental on other people's marriages. Y'all came in here judging other folks' marriages, saying how much better you and him were at communication, how transparent y'all were, how y'all were able to do this and that and that and this. That was all the shit y'all talked last season. And now come this season, when someone is trying to tell y'all what they see within y'all dynamic, y'all are closed-eared, closed-eyed, open mouth defending the shit, but you do not want to take any of it in. That's what's crazy. Y'all do not want to accept any point of truth to the fact that you and Lewis have cracks in your communication in your marriage. And it isn't a bad thing, you know, because nobody's marriage is perfect, but they try to make it seem like it is, even though separately we have seen them on camera talking to either the men and or the women about the issues in the marriage. But y'all then come together to this marriage retreat and make it seem as if, oh, we on the same page, we good. You a damn lie because you wasn't get good 2 weeks ago. Stop lying, okay? And you know, they bring up how y'all get defensive when anybody tries to say anything about y'all marriage, which is crazy considering what y'all did to everyone else, okay? You're complaining about someone critiquing your marriage, but you did the same thing to Marceau and Tisha last time. The exact same thing. And when Marceau checked you on it, you argued how you had the right to critique that man's marriage based on what you saw. Now, I ain't defending Tisha or Marceau and they bullshit and whatever they go. I ain't saying that. What I'm saying is, Kimmy is absolutely right in saying you were doing to us what is now being done to y'all, but now y'all have issue with it. We had no issue with doing it to everybody else, okay? And I was like, let them know. Okay. And Kimmy even brings up how Tiffany, with me, you talked before we got here with you in the baby situation, how you want a baby and Lewis is fully against it. We get here and all of a sudden you and Lewis are on the same page. Well, that ain't what you just said before we came here. And it's the fact that they don't get, we see they bullshit. And this is the thing, because even when when Tiffany and Lewis separately said how Tiffany said she felt like Dr. Francis didn't really care about how she felt. He don't think she really cared about if she wanted a baby or not or whatever. It was not a part of this whole bigger conversation. And how Lewis said how he doesn't like respect, whatever. They're like, okay, but y'all will say that here, but y'all ain't say that yesterday. Meaning y'all will feel some kind of way, not speak on it, and then say we crazy when we say we see y'all not being open and honest. We see it, okay? Tiffany's actually a very disrespectful person. She questioned Dr. Francis. Tiffany is Tiffany and Lewis are, in my opinion, the definition of fake shit. Meaning you want people to see you in one kind of way. And anyone who sees you differently, you try to discredit them. And I feel like Dr. Francis has been on the show longer than they have, okay? And he has critiqued everyone on the show and was basically correct. Not the fact that he's always right, because I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, when Dr. Francis pays attention to stuff, he's usually spot on in the little things he sees that someone is either not acknowledging, trying to cover up, or wants to fix. And that's the crazy part. Everyone comes for each other's marriages. This is true. However, no one else speaks on other people's marriages and then makes it seem as if no one can speak on theirs. That's the issue people have with Tiffany and Lewis. That they came in playing as if they were this perfect couple with this great communication relationship and how nobody else has it except them. But we see the cracks in the marriage. And even in the confessional, seeing Lewis and Tiffany speak negatively about Dr. Francis, to me, proves he's right. Because if somebody says something about you that you don't feel is true, you still don't try to discredit them. You can disagree with somebody without trying to discredit what they're saying. I think that's the gotcha. And the crazy part is, it's not just Dr. Francis who see this shit. It's everybody. Everyone had the same assumption of Tiffany and Lewis because of this facade they put on the show. Again, I don't know if how they are in real life is how they are on the show. That's the gotcha. So while in real life they may feel like, oh, we ain't fake. You may not be fake in real life, but on the show you is. On the show, you need Jesus to come down, put his hands upon your heads and say, stop being fake. Be your real selves, okay? For y'all to just be who y'all are. Tiffany is the definition of the epitome of nice Nancy. Yeah, Tiffany for sure has a cutthroat way of saying things that sounds real nice, like a Southern Belle. You know what I'm saying? It's like, to me, it's like Southern Belle shade. Okay, I mean, this is some shady shit said in a polite way, but still shady nonetheless. Okay, now. It's a bunch of bullshit, okay? And then Tiffany says like, well, I don't even feel like Dr. Francis cared about what I wanted. But did you ask him? Did you ask him? You know what I'm saying? And again, if that's how y'all felt, why did y'all not say that? Okay? Why not say that? And then Kimmy says, like, no one is expecting y'all to change your values, to change your opinions or whatever. However, when people are talking to y'all responses to things people are saying is off-putting. And they, in my opinion, have fully explained to Lewis and Tiffany why they have issue with them And Lewis then said, if you feel like we're coming off and you saying that kind of way, let us know because we don't want that narrative. But people been saying it, and when anyone says it, y'all deflect and make a scene as if, oh, that can't be true. That is no. You can't tell me to tell you when you full of shit, and I then say you full of shit right now. You really full of shit right now. Oh, I'm not full of shit, but you told me to tell you what I thought you were. I said when they first came on the show that Tiffany and Lewis come off as a couple who are hiding something. They're trying to come off a certain way. How they were did not seem genuine. And I think it's not because in real life they're fake. They're acting on the show to come off a certain way, and that's what the people see. Is Kimmy there to get Tiffany and Lewis married together or hers? I think what people don't get, when you go to a couples retreat, a part of the thing they do is they want the couples to sit around to have conversation to spark other conversations. So going to couples counseling or being in a couples retreat is not about each couple only focusing on their shit. When you are in a group setting and y'all are all talking, you're supposed to discuss everyone's issue. That's why they had them in group settings, but also have them in separate settings. Now, if Kimmy was in her own one-on-one session discussing other folks, that's different. But in a group setting, it's all about the group, the people having conversations about everything. Because sometimes with an issue in your marriage can be an issue with somebody else's marriage or whatever, and it sparks conversation. Now, in this scene, the reason it was about them getting on Tiffany and Lewis because Tiffany and Lewis were talking about how they're not taking in what's being said. So in these group settings, it's a lot of back and forth and back and forth and back and forth of people trying to get Tiffany and Lewis to be open. Because if not, y'all full of shit and y'all wasting time. So Kimmy did what needed to be done in this group setting. Because in a group setting, it's about everybody. And if last night y'all were the ones acting thinking dang, okay, not wanting to have open conversations, did not want to be transparent, we're gonna bring that shit up because you and your confessions last year were talking about how me and my husband were not communicating the right way. So let's move on. Okay. Male meeting with Mama Holt. I'm gonna say this in the most respectful way that I can, and I don't know how respectful it's gonna be. Mama Holt full of shit. And this is why. Mel and Martell are divorced. Okay. And Mel brought up how her and Mama Holt have not spoken in a year. Because at some point Mel said I have which Mel said currently she's open to mending, relationships that she had closed off, okay, with her ex-mother-in-law because again she wants to move past, blah blah blah. Now again they have not spoken in a year, but Mel did not like when I think it was last season when Mama Marlene was like, oh, Mel was lazy, Mel wasn't doing shit or whatever. Martell was around here doing everything, whatever, and she was gonna work my son to death. Mel did not like the narrative of making it seem as if she was around here being a nothing. And Martell was just the bee's knees of it all. I was like, Marlene ain't shit. And I mean that respectfully, okay? Now, when Mel seen that scene of Marlene talking cash shit about her and making it seem like Martell again was the breadwinner, the parent of all years, and Mel was around here not doing anything. Mel said, I can't have that kind of negativity around me. Blocked. She's blocked and blessed. Okay. But Mel sent a text to Marlene before blocking her. Okay. Your son is a liar. You have upheld Martell for a very long time and not made him take responsibility since day one been nothing but good to you and fair when it came to you. Y'all enjoy and do what y'all do. Don't text me back because I'm blocking you too. Now, I'm pretty sure the text probably had more stuff said to it. I'm pretty sure they cut and paste the gist of what the text was. I'm pretty sure Mel probably cussed that lady out as she should have because, again, when I saw the scene of Marlene saying that, I said, "Man, what the?" I said, "How that happened?" Because that statement did not match what Mel and Martell have been showing us before they got divorced. And you can tell when before Cole Star had that baby, and it was just a rumor that she was pregnant, and her, Mel and Marlene met up at Mel house, and Marlene was nice or whatever and understood Mel and was like, "Yeah, Martell wasn't right. It's my son." So she was at first admitting how Martell did wrong. And then when Mel really divorced him and kind of put her foot down to move on, to me, his Martell mama fully turned on Mel. And I get that's her son, but when that's your son, you should just not say shit because you helping him lie is worse. So I feel like Mel had every right to block that lady. Okay, be blocked and blessed. Okay, you can see my kids, your grandkids, when they with their father. You don't have to see them when they with me. Get your ass over there. Get out my face, okay? And I respect Mel for saying I had to block her ass because you know what I'm saying. I ain't want that negativity. Okay, now you know Marlene admits me. I said that. I did say that. Okay, it was me. I said, me and you had a great relationship. Okay, but she then admit that Martell never came to her saying Mel was lazy. It was her just saying that. And again, that's Mel's point. Why would you say I was lazy if your son never told you that about me? How can you say I was lazy? How? How? And Mel was very respectful. Okay. Now she was shady with some of her looks. But she was shady in a way like I can't say what I want to say, but I'll make faces to let folks know you full of shit. Okay. And when Marlene says I just felt like he was spoiled. You was spoiled. You was being lazy, I do that, but I guess if I was right, if I was out having kids, I'd be lazy too. Bitch, what? Not bitch, lady, what? Mel said, "Oh, Martell did everything. I didn't do nothing. Martell was cooking and cleaning. He was watching the kids. I didn't come up with no ideas. I didn't do. It was all Martell. It was all him. I was just living a life of nothing. Didn't do nothing." I said, "Mel, yes, because it sounds stupid." Watching the show, seeing how they be before the divorce, you seen both Mel and Martell working. Before the divorce, you seen them both admitting to having to both put in the work. Okay, so again, Mel said how it made what Marlene said sound just stupid, just stupid. And this is the thing: if you said it before to be shady on the show, it's a year later for you not to admit, I didn't. I don't mean you didn't do anything, okay? But for her to say, "Well, you were spoiled. You were spoiled." Okay, that's what it was. And Mel said, "Look, I was never lazy, okay? And I even talked to your son and asked him if he said it. He said no. But I reminded him how you would say while me and him were married, how both me and Martell did too much, how we both did a lot. Meaning you always felt like we were doing too much as a married couple. You always said that. But when we divorced, it became, oh, Martell did it all. But your son even admitted how you said we both were busy. And when Mel had to break down to this lady what marriage is, okay, what marriage is, saying, am I married to Martell? Okay. At times, yes, he waited on me. Okay. At times, I waited on him. Okay. That's called marriage. I said, let her know. Let her. It's called marriage. It's marriage. So for you to make it seem as if the whole time Mel didn't do shit was stupid. Was stupid. Plus the fact that once they broke up and was separating and then divorcing and not being divorced, Martell's still the one sitting around here struggling to survive. He's the one around here who don't have not damn business to the first to promote. He just now got out there wine out, and I don't know nobody who drinking it. Okay, Mel has consistently stayed working. Anyone who was lazy, and if Martell was the breadwinning brain behind everything, she would have stayed being lazy and made him pay her child support for the 4 kids she birthed. Because again, at the end of the day, she had proof he cheated, a whole fucking baby. If Mel was truly lazy, she didn't have to do nothing. If Martell was really the hard working money maker, Mel would have been sitting around collecting his checks. He tried to get her money. And it made Marlene look, in my opinion, pitiful. Because and this is no shade to anyone who is a single mom or nothing. Marlene was speaking from the aspect of a bitter single baby mama. Someone who did not try harder to get more and accepted what was given to them. And when you seen someone get with your son and did not fold when he fucked her over, you're jealous of that. I really think Marlene can't believe that with 4 children that Mel was able to not fall and become bitter and be upset and live in a world of it's being my kids because the daddy ain't shit. Mel did not accept that. I think Marlene seeing that made her jealous. And not all, and I'm not saying on any way that single women who are moms are that. I'm saying Marlene is that. She is the quintessential and how she handled this situation, a bitter single baby mama. Seeing someone else do what they could not do or this would not do for whatever the reasons were. I agree. Everyone thought she would fall on her face. And this is not to negate the success that both Kimmy and Tisha have acquired on their own. Because even though Tisha gets on my nerves sometimes, I feel like she is still a very hard worker. Her and Kim, I think all of the women on this show have worked hard at stuff. Well, maybe not Destiny. Okay. I feel like Kimmy and Tisha, in my opinion, have, done great things too. However, Mel, in my opinion, had the hardest road because she had a public cheating scandal that anybody else would have went and sat down somewhere and not wanted to do anything. I think some people was waiting for Mel to be around there, lost, and I think Martell included. I think even Cole thought. I think everybody thought she would fold, and she showed she was the brains behind the man. Period, and she keeps thriving. She keeps thriving, and I really do hope that within this show that Tisha and Mel and Kimmy can get on better footing and move the fuck on, okay? Because Marlene asked, I was like, girl, the fuck bye. Girl, bye. Martell, and I still feel like he did that. That's in the past. That's in the past. But I still feel, girl, shut up. Shut up, my Marlene, okay? But they both agree to that was the past. Let's move on. Mel unblocked her, okay, on the phone or whatever. And, they're going to try to get back to how they used to be hanging out. Because, again, we seen we seen them have a close bond. You know what I'm saying? We seen that. And I think this whole situation of Martell cheating before the show starting, some of them knowing, Mel and Martell not really wanting it to be out like that about the past cheating, then to find out that he was still cheating, that all caused discourse between everyone. Everyone. And in my opinion, the main contributing factor to all of that is Martell. Martell did something that had ripple effects through the whole friendship bond, through the whole thing. The whole thing. And because of what Martell did, it fucked up everything. And people, in my opinion, felt like Mel should just accept the fact that this, or Mel should just accept the fact that that. And she like, I'm not. And even the fact that she took him back initially when she thought he was not cheating, and people hold that against her too. Well, she knew was cheating from before, and she stayed. Okay. But when she saw he was on that bullshit, she chose to leave. So much stuff happened that, in my opinion, started because Martell cheated. Martell cheating caused discourse between Mel and Tisha. Mel being upset that Tisha and them knew made Mel and Tisha be beefing. And both Mel and Tisha was guilty in that shit. Martell trying to stay on Mel's good side. And okay, I'll beef with you with Marcel and Tisha. Kimmy having to pick sides because Mel was cool with her, but Tisha's her sister-in-law. Maurice bring Marcel's brother, having, you know what I'm saying? And Martell mama having to, you know what I'm saying? It all started from Martell cheating and everyone feeling some kind of way in what he did and how it made them feel. And because Mel at some point was acting out because her husband was cheating on her, you know what I'm saying? She felt stupid. In some way, she did act out. And people was hoping she would just fall on her face. And she never fell on her face. Period. But Marlene walking up in there and just acknowledging that I did say that. I did it. Mm-hmm. I see my baby did it. Girl, Marlene, shut up. Get on our face, okay? So I feel like they can be cool, but they would never be as cool as they would because my Marlene still be talking shit, okay? Now let's move on to back to counseling or whatever. Thank you, counseling. Dr. Francis has them outside, honey, with the little blankets or whatever, talking about just the truth circle. Let's be truthful and honest in the circle. Okay, now let's discuss people handling loss because we talk about how Tiffany had loss with her being adopted and this and that and that and this. Like, how does one person handle loss? Lewis, how do you handle loss? And Lewis says, it's not easy. It's never easy handling loss. Like, that ain't what I asked you. Okay, that's not a response. And how did you handle loss? Okay. He finally admits, okay, I was upset. I had moments of isolating myself. Okay, it's hard, but that's why you have people in your life to help. Okay. And I said, oh, Lewis trying to be open. Now, Lewis had a nerve to be eye crying. Lewis shed some tears. Okay. I shed 2 tears today. Okay. He up and crying or whatever. And Dr. Francis said, this is the first moments of me feeling like I see some humanity from you, okay? The philosopher ain't here. This is the human, meaning Lewis always comes from a point of having these long ass thesis paper, college essay answers that is always him stepping around. What the point is, you never seem like you're being open and honest about whatever I'm talking to you about. It's always some bull of the shit. Okay. And Lewis, when people say things, when people say things about how I am, about how things, about stuff in the game, it affects me. It affects me. I said, Lewis, get out my damn face. It was saying, look, a part of me felt like, Lewis, did you really crying? Cause y'all know they say you can have tears and come out, but it don't feel like you're crying. Okay, but I do feel like that's the first time I felt Lewis being open and transparent about something, and I don't know if I know how some men, black men in general, want to come off as strong. I'm strong or whatever. And they do not want to come off soft. They do not want to share any feelings or whatever. I know someone. I have to consistently tell somebody, put the goddamn cape down. You cannot always be Superman. Okay, put the cape. A conversation I have at least 4 times a month. Okay, which means every week. Put the damn, because black men really want to save the day. Does not want to look weak. Okay, so I get that, but I also feel like Lewis' strength is not about him wanting to look strong as a black man. I really feel like it's an image he wants to uphold, and I just don't understand why. I don't. But he cried he cried tears of joy, whatever. So boom, they support girl, because I still don't really see it for Lewis and Tiffany. That may have been one honest moment of him, shedding some emotion, because he had somebody in his family died recently, so that was probably was grief tears. So Tisha and Marcel bring up how she recently experienced the loss of her friends, who, because they talk about it when they first got the thing or whatever, and a friend of hers who like passed out in her daughter's room. She passed away. The friend had a 2-month-old baby, had a 3-year-old child as well, and how short life is. They showed a flashback of, I guess, the lady's husband, who was on the show at one point at some part, not some, at a gathering with the men. The guy was there and was talking or whatever. So we do see the guy. So I guess that was her husband. I'm not sure. Um, but basically, how do they just all realize how fragile, how short life is, how you never know, so cherish every day. I'm like, that's true. um I just don't want them using that lady death as like a plot line for sympathy. So I'm not sure. Whatever. I know they brought up how the girl had just recently celebrated her birthday, like the day before she died. And so how that was still shocking for them to know, one day here, one day gone. That's life. It's so fucked up. Okay, so that was all that happened in this scene. Now, Martell and his mama talking, y'all. When Martell and his mama talking, it just want 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 want. Okay, it's Charlie Brown talk, in my opinion. Okay, Martell has been lying about how so many people want to buy his wine. How do people want to buy something that ain't out? How do so many people want to buy something that is not out? How do you have so many orders of anything that is not out? Come on now, Sheree. Come on now, Sheba Sheen. Okay. Martell, you can't fool me. Not today, not ever. I gotta order some more bottles. So many people wanna order my stuff. You know what I'm saying? I gotta order. How? How you ordering more of something you have not sold? Because this was shot. My back hurts so bad, y'all. This was shot months ago. Okay. Even currently, I think it just recently may have been available. So was nobody buying shit months ago? No one. Okay. That desk full of papers, whatever. You want to look busy, whatever. Get out my face. This is a messy desk. Okay. Anyway, but Martell brings up how the co-parenting between him and Mel has recently gotten better. We know this was around the time when Martell was acting like he had some sense. Okay, was acting like he wanted to be a calm, cool, debonair, and responsible father. Okay, so whatever. Now, Marlene didn't bring up how yeah, I think everybody has to be respectful. You know what I'm saying? As long as everyone is respectful, because it's not what you do. It's how you do it. I say, Marlene, your son went and had a baby on his wife. You can't speak about doing things respectfully when your son did the ultimate disrespect as a married man. But I digress, okay? So when she tells him how she met up with Mel for lunch, for breakfast or whatever. How Mel wanted to clear up the whole thing about her blocking her or whatever, and for them to have a conversation. Now, Marlene was nice. It was nice. It wasn't messy. I'm saying it was whatever. We talked about the text. She said, yeah, that text was very, very disrespectful. I was like, if your mama on the show talking about me and me telling her, bitch, keep my name out your mouth. I mean, that's not that bad. And it's a weird thing about how people, Martell and his mama, like to make it seem as if Mel is out here having to respect them. I don't have to respect you, either of you, because both of y'all be on some fuck shit. So I don't have to respect y'all. And for y'all to try to give me props for not being like y'all, being a business assholes, you know what I'm saying? Don't get out of my face. Leave me alone. Don't talk about me. Leave me alone. Okay. But Marlene did say, as a woman, as a mother, I know that the text was because she was hurt. I get it. So I can give, space, and I understand, and I don't, what I'm saying? Making it seem as if because I know what it feels like to be a cheated on woman, I understand Mel being pissed. I'm not gonna hold on to that girl because I get it. No, you should not care because your son did it. Your son did dirt. And you and Martell feel like that she owed him something, and I don't get from what bank she owes him anything. Not from the bank of loyalty, not from the bank of respect, not from the bank of nothing. Okay, God is the only one who owed Martell some grace, not his ex-wife. Miss me with the bullshit, okay? And Martell and his mama are the poster child for like broken homes, creating broken homes. You know what I'm saying? And this and making excuses for your child's wrongdoing, okay? Because you're up here talking to him as if he was not the one who caused this whole situation. Martell came from a broken home. Marlene still operates mentally from the space of a broken home. Just because your person left you to raise Martell does not mean that you should excuse his behavior. Just because you are a woman who was cheated on does not mean that you should just kind of overlook what Mel went through. It's weird to me when we all see the reason for the demise, your son and his death. But in my opinion, Marlene don't have shit else except her son. Her son is her sunshine. That's what she. I don't know if she married, divorced, single, engaged, or whatever. I don't know shit about that lady. What I do know is she operates from a place of my son matters the most to me, and when he fuck up, I'm going to make excuses for him. Even in my older age, I am still stuck in the same cycle of bullshit I raised him in. And I feel like Mel should also live how I lived. And Mel like, not in my life. No, ma'am. And Mel does it in a respectful way, but Mel like, I'm not for y'all bullshit at all. And the difference with even what Marlene probably went through back in the day and what Mel and Martell going through now is what Mel and Martell going through is on a public, huge scale. Because it's one thing if in your neighborhood everybody know that Joe Blow cheated on Jane Blaine with Faith, the cousin from around the corner, okay? And it's the talk of the neighborhood versus it's the talk of the world. Okay, thousands of people feel the need to comment on what's going on. So Marlene making it seem like, oh, it's just a little cheating. No, bitch, it wasn't. It was public humiliation. And even after the separation, during the divorce and all this Mel having to pull up with Martell bullshit and his mistress bullshit. And people who just don't like her saying she basically deserves it. That's the crazy part. So Marlene and Martell sitting around here talking as if they are just the quintessential mother-daughter duo of righteousness is bullshit to me. So the same way Martell was sitting around up there lying about how much he got to sell them damn bottles of wine, and Marlene lying about, oh, well, we have to be respectful. It's not how you do, it's what you shut up. Both y'all. Y'all both full of shit. If y'all truly wanted to heal and move forward, y'all would not be sitting around here still trying to kind of poke at Mel when y'all should be poking and moving on. That man got a whole new baby. And is currently out here fakely dating Sheree. Anyway, next up. So the end of the episode was basically the three couples talking to themselves or talking to the damn doctor. And Tiffany and Lewis having a conversation amongst themselves. I was thirsty. I just said a mouthful. Tiffany and Lewis having this conversation alone in their room. And she tells him, how, you're a tough guy. You know what I'm saying? I think it's easier for you to cover things up and not handle them head on. And it might have came from your relationship with your father. Now, my thing is this. What Tiffany said is the exact same thing that Dr. Francis said. So if you're saying that you can tell that your husband, he's tough, but it's easier for him to cover up shit and not handle things head on is exactly what Dr. Francis said. And he said, I figured y'all out immediately. So you just said the exact same thing that Dr. Francis said about your husband, who you know that Dr. Francis said without having to really know him. You want to know why? Because y'all come off fake. And he can feel it. So to me, I'm looking like y'all tried to hoodwink and bamboozle us, and this shit did not work. Not at all. Not today. Not my goddamn, not today. So I'm like, it's weird to me that you can sit there and critique your husband and say the same thing everyone else is saying, but you want to make it seem as if anyone else saying it can't be true. But when you say it, it's true. If I can tell that you and your husband are covering things up to not handle things head on, that's your truth. That's the truth. It's weird to me. And Lewis agrees, okay, about how, look, my father was very, my father was in the headspace of putting the family in a better place and not really physically being there because he was out here working, doing this and doing that or whatever, okay? And because of that, honey, Bishop Whitehead and posted it. Y'all know I gotta keep on top of Bishop Whitehead and his bullshit. It's because people post stuff and then delete stuff, and then I have to catch it while it's around. Okay, and if I can't catch it while it's around, it's like, no, what's going on? But again, back to I'm just sharing. Y'all take a second and like the video. Like the video. Okay, I'm back. I just had to download the video before he possibly deleted it, because that's what they be doing. They be around here deleting stuff, and then I can't see it, and I hate having to get stuff. I hate having to get stuff from other people's pages because they didn't put the damn, stuff on there, whatever. So I try my best to do my own research, get my own stuff to be a constant creator in my head. Okay, anyway, well, yeah, back to Lewis and Lana activity. I'll be on it. I'll be working. Okay, I'll be working while I'm working. Because as y'all know, so tonight at 9 p.m. we'll have a live about Bishop robbery, him attacking that lady on camera, him getting arrested, and then we have now whatever video he made after getting out of jail, possibly. So that'll be tonight at 9 o'clock. Okay, we'll have that at 9. And then Housewives of Atlanta review will be tomorrow at 9. Okay, that's the order of things. Tonight, 9 p.m. around here, we Bishop robbery, the first tabernacle. Stop. Okay, see you on that. Lewis and Tiffany. But again, Lewis and Tiffany are talking, and it's like it's weird how they alone want to put up this front of we want to work on things, blah, blah, blah. But in the company with other people, y'all want to make it as if y'all good. It's not true, and he's sitting up there crying. It's so sad. My father wasn't there. He was always working. Okay, so he's upset not upset. He's expressing how it hurt him that his father was not presently, actively in the life. He was working or whatever. And after he graduated school, he told it that, like, Dad, I need you to be around. And after that, Dad, I was around or whatever. I'm like, Lewis, is you really crying now? And I just feel like you can't want to be this transparent, but only when it's you and your wife. You know what I'm saying? And he brought up how that's why, being too busy matters. Because he said Tiffany's too busy. So it's like, oh, I don't want you to be too busy for our kids. How my dad was too busy for me. Okay. And I was like, I didn't really care. Because it also felt like this was a scene they wanted to shoot before leaving. Okay. Now, we then seen Dr. Francis have a conversation with Marcel and Tisha. Okay. And they sit around there chit and chatting. Okay. Little chit chat. And Marcel brings up how for him, you know what I'm saying? Look, within our marriage, we were sure in our marriage. We had a for sure bond. We were good or whatever until about 3 or 4 years ago. Meaning until we got on the show, we were fine. Okay. And then within the past 3 or 4 years, we've had all these outside voices that have caused issues. Now, this is what I want to say about Marcel and Tisha. I don't know if Marcel cheated. I do not know because I was not there. What I do know is Tisha fully believes that this is the God sent husband to her, and that's it. Marcel fully believes they have a good marriage, and the only issue they have is the outside voices causing issues inside their marriage. Okay, how they did not have any friction before, but now there's this external force critiquing their marriage, which then causes friction. And this is my thing: if y'all didn't have any issues before the show, and y'all were good, outside voices, external forces of conversation from folks who don't really matter should not have been able to cause friction if you are good in your marriage because you trust your husband and or your wife. So a part of me feels like there's a reason why when people started critiquing y'all marriage, y'all started having issues. Because if I trust my husband and I feel he ain't doing shit, someone telling me I think her husband cheating. If I trust him, I don't care what you're saying. Right. Y'all should be a united front. You can leave the show. Because this is my thing. I would refuse to stay in an environment that could possibly break up my family. If you're saying these outside things from this show is what's causing the issues in your marriage, I would never stay. I wouldn't, because it's causing issue where there isn't any. But they like being on the show. So y'all don't care about the bullshit being brought into your marriage. Now Tisha then brings up how for her, God gave me this husband. Okay. For a reason. He gave me this husband for a reason. So it's okay. I said it's okay. Because God gave me him. So it's okay to listen to him. It's okay to depend on him. It's okay to be like obedient and submissive to him. It's okay. You know what I'm saying? Because, he has not disappointed me. You know what I'm saying? And God blessed me with him. I have to trust the process. Bitch, what, girl? I get you wanting to keep the faith in your husband and who you feel like God brought to you to be. I get all of that. But a part of me feel like she puts more faith in Marcel as a man that she can be put into God, who could be trying to show her, maybe I need you to fix or help grow the human being I put in your life. Because for some reason Tisha don't want to leave. That's her husband. She love that man. That's fine. Marcel even brought up how he does not make unilateral decisions. He does not make decisions without talking to her. I don't make them on my own. I talk things out with her. I would never discount her because I would not have married her if I was not going to rely on her in some kind of way. And when Dr. Francis said the mistake people make is they argue the truth when the truth stands by itself. And I was like, wow. Meaning y'all up here making all these excuses, all these examples for what y'all truth is versus just standing in it and letting y'all truth be y'all trying to argue y'all truth. I said, Dr. Francis, God damn it. We kept saying we was upset when Ayanla left on, and we said, oh, we did not know Dr. Francis was on his way, on the way to save the day. Because I was like, right, when Tisha said, like obedient, when she said obedient, he was like, the fuck did you just obedient in 2022? You're obedient to him, girl. But Tisha has this thought process that he's God sent. And because of that, she keeps convincing herself, even if she feels something is wrong, she has to trust him. Even when she feels something, she has to trust him. And I was like, girl, trust God. Okay? You hear me? Because again, I do not know if Marcel cheated. I do not know that. But I do know is Marcel is a particular kind of man who round here sometime on some bull of the shit. Okay? Yeah, if they gave Dr. Francis a show, it would be amazing because I like the fact that he's able to critique them. And I love Ayanla. But Ayanla sometime would be so loud and whatever it was, I would get confused. Like, what's going on? And I feel like I always understand what he's saying because he's saying like in a plain way or whatever. But I also would have loved to see him and Ayanla like on a show with couples. I would love an Ayanla and Dr. Francis type show where it's couples and they're both working with one end or the other. You know what I'm saying? So I would love that. So, I was like, girl, I need y'all to fix it. But yeah, for me, I feel like Tisha keeps using the excuse that she feel like God gave her or sent her Marcel. And so she has to keep trusting in Marcel. She'll keep trusting in Marcel. Because, God, girl, God can always bring us husbands and boyfriends and whatever. So sometimes God also gives us discernment to know something ain't right, or something just needs to be corrected before we keep continuing. And then we seen a conversation with Kimmy and Maurice. Okay, lastly, and Kimmy and Maurice, look, I don't know if Maurice did not want to be the least relevant person, which is what Mel called him, on the show, and he decided to say some dumb shit. But when Maurice said how he, did not want to come on the trip, he did not want to do the counseling thing, whatever. But he brings up how he asked, okay, if I go on this trip, how about we have sex at least twice a day? While there, that he does not understand why a husband and wife can have sex every day. If you are a human being, grown man, and you do not understand why some people may not want to, because it's two people, you are one half of the marriage. And while you may want sex every day because your tool for sex may be easier to use and take less of a beating, for you not to understand why someone else, being your wife, does not want to have sex every day, you do not need to be married. You need to be a hoe. You need to have multiple women that you have sex with on a regular basis. With a condom. Okay. Because Kimmy is not a robot. And I don't get why men don't understand that our vaginas are not toys. Sometimes we just do not want to have sex. Sometimes our body does not even react to the thought of sex. Because your penis can get hard, that does not mean our vaginas are wet enough for you to, I don't feel like it. It's that simple. So I'm like, does he want to just seem like I don't want to be relevant? So I'm gonna say something to be this thing, okay? To have something to discuss, to be a topic of conversation. Because you can't be a grown man with kids around here and you are saying out loud, out your mouth, you don't understand, or you don't think that a spouse should be able to say, no, I don't want to have sex. First of all, that's outrageous. Okay. That's not fair. And it's stupid. And Kimmy's point is, it's excessive. Saying let's have sex at least twice a day is excessive. And he don't get that. And Kimmy's point is, and Dr. Francis said, so you don't think a woman has the right to have a say so over her body? He says, I do, but I just don't get how, you know what I'm saying, how much sex is too much sex. But for Kimmy, every day is too much. For me, every day is too much. I don't want sex every day. I don't. I got shit to do. And Kimmy was like, first of all, when we were dating, I wasn't around here. It was, just us, my son. That's really it. You know what I'm saying? We didn't have this big ass house. Now it's different. We in a 5-bedroom house. I got stuff for my son, Jalen. Monster now lives here. I got to take it. It's all this stuff. It's more stuff I have to do. After sex, he can lay around. I got to get up and do shit because shit got to be done to run the household. Because he feel like, household work isn't men's work. It's a house full of men. So who gonna do the goddamn work? Me. And if I ask him to help this and that or whatever, that may be an issue for him. So I feel like Kimmy was making all the sense in the world about I don't have time to have sex every day. I don't. And he just don't get it. And Dr. Francis know that Maurice is full of shit. And when he was talking, maybe y'all can do stuff before. She's like, no, you are preaching to the choir. I get we can do we can do stuff before. It's Maurice who wants some bullshit. And but he just wants sex, blah, 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 blah. And when Dr. Francis said, well, first of all, sex should be about like sharing yourself with your partner. It should not be like a chore to be done for someone. And he said to Maurice, she is more than just a partner to have sex with. And I was like, right, right. This scene is not going to help any fan of the show feel like Kimmy isn't settling for Maurice, because there's no reason for her to settle for this bullshit. So people already feel like Kimmy settled, and I think this won't help that narrative. I like Kimmy. I really, really do. I think she's such a cool person. Um, Maurice is not helping Kimmy at all by putting out this narrative that he wants sex at least twice a day. It's gonna make folks just ask, why is she still with him? So I can see that coming down the pipeline. I can see it. Okay. And I just want the best for Kimmy. I'm gonna say that. I want the best for Kimmy, because Maurice is fully full of shit if he feel like he is right in any sense of the word, where he feel like Kimmy's the one who should bend and they should have sex more often. No, Negro. No. If your wife say, I don't want to have sex every day, babe, I don't want that. And not only because I don't want it, I have too much stuff to do around here to be trying to fuck you daily. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy, insane, and it's some bullshit. You hear me? And that was the end of the episode. Okay. So I hope y'all around here and y'all enjoyed the review. I'm gonna get off here, get my graphics together to be live at 9 p.m. for a Bishop robbery, watch along, conversation, and all of that. Okay, I will have my Housewives of Atlanta review up tomorrow and whatnot. But I want to see y'all back here at 9 o'clock to have a conversation. Okay. Do not forget to like the video, comment in the comment section. Y'all know to subscribe to my channel. And all that stuff. I want y'all to all have a great, great Sunday. Okay. We will have more conversation about the Huntsville folks next Saturday and stuff. So yeah, see y'all at 9. I love you all. Be good. Bye.